Hey, and welcome back to another Animal Crossing video. I'm here with Dramakins, and we are going to be just talk about whatever. We're going to do our own little kind of crossing confessions, if you will. So we can start out by talking about the most recent update. Drama, you had a few things to say about that.
So with the update, we got all of the new fireworks stuff, and they kind of did a couple little bit of adjusting things as well, like different fixes. And I think the one that upset probably the most people was the star fragment trees.
Those poor
And
star fragment trees.
I know, because I really loved them so much. It was really cool getting to see like everyone's islands and all of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's just so strange because when you look at like New Leaf, the game itself was very like focused on hacking and was focused on having that cute environment.
Yeah, a lot of
And
people's islands were like go-tos because they were hacked. Like you always wanted to
exactly.
visit the hacked islands. Now it's like almost taboo to even think about going to one.
Yeah, and like before I remember going to islands that were like underwater and all kinds of really interesting things. And
Mm.
that's what's neat about like technology we have now is like we can do more with the hacking, but now Nintendo has a problem with it. It just I don't really understand. I don't know if it's because of all the reporting or something else.
Yeah, and the other thing is like on one hand, I kind of actually understand not wanting to have hacked items in the game. So
Mhm.
during New Leaf, the Welcome Amiibo update, my friend Bergability had a hacked item that his friend brought over, and he couldn't throw it away in trash cans at all.
Yeah.
Because of that, when he updated his game, his save looked like it got wiped. And
Oh,
he was like,
wow.
so for that amiibo update, he was like, "Oh my god, like what's going on?" And then he like put two and two together that it was the hacked item that prevented him from updating properly. So luckily he like was able to visit somebody who updated their game, drop off the hacked item to somebody else, and when he updated it, it was fine.
Oh wow, that's so scary though to think that like your whole island can just go away because of a one item added.
Yeah, it was crazy, and we were all. I mean, he was doing that on Twitch, so we were all watching him like really nervous for him. So on that side, like I kind of understand not having the desire to have hacked items because maybe
Mhm.
Nintendo like knows that it could potentially cause problems with updates in the future.
That makes sense, yeah.
But on the other hand, it's like if they were harmless, like the star trees and stuff, they just look cool and really like, they don't really do anything. It's not like they're growing constant new star pieces. So it's not like you can
Yeah.
like exploit it to the point where you're benefiting from star pieces off of them.
And even if they actually added it in the game for real too, I feel like that would be awesome because it would be kind of a similar thing as money trees. It's like, oh, I'm doubling my money. What's so wrong with doubling star fragments?
Yeah, that's
A lot of
true.
people have a hard time getting the Celeste to even come to their island or even finding the shooting stars.
Yeah. I have trouble
And
finding shooting stars a lot.
yeah, I feel like it's a common thing that a lot of people have trouble finding.
Yeah, so on that note, it's like kind of sad that they're going away, but
Hmm.
at the same time it's like, I also am surprised how many people report islands. That's what the general consensus is as to why and how
Yeah.
Nintendo's finding it out, but I also heard that they can kind of like receive information from your town regardless as long as you're using online. So I don't know if it's from the reporting or if it's from just Nintendo getting that kind of info.
I wonder if it's from reporting, like maybe like mass reporting, and to try to slow down the mass reporting, they just remove the item from the game because that would hopefully stop it. Because there was a specific content creator who was going after these people's islands and he
Oh,
was
really?
exploiting them.
I didn't
Yeah,
know about that.
he was making videos and live streams, and people would submit him codes, and people were tagging him, like on Twitter and stuff, like, "Oh, here, come to my island or whatever." And he was just going through and reporting all the islands.
Oh,
And that's kind of where
weird.
this whole big debacle really came from.
I didn't see. I wasn't aware of that. I guess I'm just like a little out of touch about stuff like that.
Yeah, it was crazy though. Like the idea that a content creator was like
Almost witch
going
hunting.
after all of these people. Yeah, he was witch hunting and like his audience was like enabling him. And they're like, here's a code, here's some codes. I found some on Twitter. And he would go to the island, and then when you hit the report button, it basically takes a screenshot of where you are. And so he would just stand in front of the star trees, take the screenshot, report it, and like try to say to like ban them from online.
Oh, weird.
It was so scary. Like,
I wonder, like, yeah, that's so strange. Because the thing is, like, other people would be able to visit the dream town if they saw the dream address too.
Yeah,
And
but
as
I
a
guess
content creator, you kind of have the responsibility of your audience and how they behave. And if he's encouraging people to go and mass report islands,
yeah, exactly.
that's a
And
shame.
and he was acting like he was some kind of like, I don't know, like some kind of crusade, which felt really strange. But I guess the same person did it for Pokemon as well, so I guess they're kind of like known to
That's their
report
content
report
type.
the cheaters or something. Yeah.
I don't mean to pry into this person's life, but do you know it? Did they play the old Animal Crossings, or is this like just
I don't
something
know
new?
I don't know much about them specifically. I just know about him because of like Animal Crossing Twitter upset about it.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of like heard about it through the grapevine. I'm like, who's this person? And then saw they did a live stream and like a video about it, and it was really, it's just like sad to see that happen like that.
There's like this unspoken kind of Animal Crossing etiquette from older players where
Mm-hmm.
we actually tend to respect people who have really well designed kind of hacked islands versus shunning them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I feel like if there's a new Animal Crossing person, like there's a lot of new people joining the Animal Crossing community with New Horizons. And so if they are looking up content and seeing that, they might think it's normal to be like, oh, I have to report everything because it's the right thing to do. Whereas older players definitely don't do that. They more are like, oh, look how cool this is kind of thing.
Yeah, it feels like that the people that came from New Leaf or previous games aren't the ones that are reporting. The ones that are reporting are the people who are newer to the Animal Crossing franchise.
Yeah, and I think that's just like a difference in kind of almost like AC culture where
Yeah.
if you just aren't aware of it, then they think it's the right thing to do, and that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
They're doing what they think is right because that's what they're told that's right.
And there's
But
the same etiquette like we talked about yesterday, even with like social medias. Like if you
mm,
go from like YouTube to Twitch, there's like different etiquettes on like different platforms.
oh
And
yeah,
I think it's just like that unspoken etiquette that if you're involved with it and you know about it, you just don't do that. Like I would never report an island. I never like worry about people time traveling because that's just like how it is.
right, yeah,
And it's like
like
part of the
everyone
like
does their
charm
own
of
kind
it.
of thing. Exactly.
Yeah. Because Animal Crossing's built solely on play the game the way you want to play it and have fun the way you want to play.
It's a
And
virtual
if that's
dollhouse.
Yep, if that's playing each individual day and never time traveling, collecting every fossil, every fish, go for it. If you want to hack your island and put cool items in there and do interesting things and time travel, awesome as well. And that's like the beauty of it. Because like Animal Crossing's not competitive. So having star trees in Animal Crossing doesn't make you better than anybody else.
That's
Like,
I'm here for the competition drama. I own.
excuse me.
So this is funny because you time travel and I don't.
Yeah.
So, but to me, and the comparison I always try to use to explain to people is it's really like Minecraft. Whereas like I'm playing Minecraft survival mode and you're playing Minecraft creative mode.
Honestly.
But it's an Animal Crossing with time traveling. So I really
Yeah.
think it should be up to the player and the player alone of that specific island. Obviously, if your siblings were on your island and time traveling, and you didn't
Hmm.
want to time travel, that would be really frustrating. Like
Yeah. I could agree
if
with that.
if my siblings were on my island and like time traveled the winter and I turned on the game and everybody moved out, I'd be like, "What the heck?" But like
Yeah.
if you have complete control over your own island and you can just like if you have, respectable friends, you can say, "Hey, don't bring me any special items because I'm not doing that." They would respect that and they wouldn't bring you anything that you didn't have already. So,
I was sneaky and I went to summer early and I sent you sailor dresses, but that's fine.
you know what? The thing is, I am very lenient about
Yeah.
stuff. Like, I don't mind time traveling. I don't mind getting items that I don't have yet, especially from friends, because part of the charm for me in Animal Crossing is giving and receiving presents.
Oh, I know. Yeah, but I was thinking about that. Like, I sent you like stuff from summertime, but like when it comes to like, I wouldn't go to like winter and send you winter recipes though. I feel like that's too far.
Well, to be
Like,
honest, I had a friend in the southern hemisphere, and I went down and got autumn recipes in spring.
oh
So,
yeah, same. Like, or else I would trade with people online. Like, I have like the mushroom DIY, And then I had another island that had mushrooms on it, so I'm like, I'll just give them to my main island.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, time traveling in that respect, it's like you can just, if you really wanted to not time travel and get the mushroom furniture and it's springtime, what difference does it make if you time traveled versus visiting somebody who is in this different hemisphere?
Exactly. I think with time traveling, I think in previous games, there was definitely more risk to it because if you time traveled like a week, someone could move out.
Yeah.
And it was just like so devastating. But with New Horizons, there's no punishment. Like your hair gets messed up for 5 seconds and then it goes away. You might get weeds, which the weeds are pretty in this game, and then there's bugs in your house. Other
Yeah.
than that, nothing happens. And I think that I transitioned into a player who never time traveled, never planned on it ever, to time traveling constantly because I don't have any risk that's going to come to me if I do it.
That's
So,
true. Besides
so, if
turnips, but
so it's like if Animal Crossing took those risks out of the game, then why is time traveling so bad?
at this time point they know that time traveling is like very ingrained in the Animal Crossing culture.
Yeah.
Like I almost feel like they kind of don't mind it, but they don't say that they mind it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of just like an unspoken, like, we get it. And that's why I wholeheartedly believe why updates happen like they do. I really think that Aya wants to control the experience that we have. She knows people are going to time travel, so she's going to hold all this stuff behind a wall until she wants you to experience it. Like with
Yeah.
diving, it didn't come out till summertime. She held that because she wanted people to go diving in summer.
You know, that's
I
a
think
really
she's
interesting point, actually. I didn't even think of it that way. I mean, I kind of thought of it as like a slow release so people don't rush through the content, but to have the proper Animal Crossing experience in that way is kind of clever and brilliant, but also like gonna get a lot of people angry.
Yeah, but I think that's part of the reason why they do it. I think one is that way they can kind of continually adding new things and new features, but I really think part of it is because they're trying to control the experience for time travelers. Because like, what's to stop someone from going to Halloween and having all the Halloween items on like day 2?
That's true.
Like and
Like
so
if
I
they wanted
think
to make a spooky island, it's like, well,
yeah.
I'll just go to the event or do
Because
whatever.
yeah, like the stuff that we get now, like if you think of even like Gullivar, like those aren't like summer holiday items. It's not like just holiday things. It's like seasonal things. Like
I still
that stuff
haven't
that
found
pirates.
Gullivar. He has not come to my
I
island at
definitely
all.
time traveled to get the pirate dress, and then I gave up. That's all I wanted was the pirate
Oh,
dress.
the pirate dress is so good.
But like it's so funny. Like that's what kind of is fun about you and I is like I was like you. And then I realized that there was no risk in time traveling. So like I don't have a problem like farming for a few things that I want, whether it's like farming for like Celeste DIYs or farming for like Gullivar
Mm,
DIYs. But it's fun to do that sort of thing. But I think that if you do time travel, it's good to like make your own rules. Like
yeah.
my only rule is I can't go past today. So like I can go
Oh,
back like a month and then work my way back to today, but I can't go past today's date.
that's a
And that's
cool way
kind
to
of
do it.
like I feel like that's like the only way that I've kept my like my honor in a weird way is like I just can't go too far as a cat. I can't unlock those DIYs early that you get from like Isabel or whatever.
Mm,
So I kind of just like I usually do it to move villagers or like delete like inclines mostly.
yeah.
But
I do
when it
wish you
comes
could
to
do
like
more than one incline in a day, or like
oh my
destroy
gosh.
something and then like I don't know. It would just be nice to have a chance to one have more inclines because
Oh
I've
my
run out.
gosh. Yes, that was such something we're so lacking in Animal Crossing right now. We have a lack of inclines and a lack of bridges and house customization. That whole part of Animal Crossing, I just need an update for that. There's just
Yeah.
not enough
I didn't
there.
even think about how limited the house customization has been because we used to be able to edit the foundation that our house was on, the
Mhm.
exterior, the roof, and also like the
The shape of the
mailbox, the
house.
shape of the house, the fence outside the house.
And also, you could do those customizations without having to upgrade your house all the way.
Yeah.
Like, I'm someone who likes to have the small cottage house where there's just one
Yeah.
room, but I couldn't do that in this game unless I wanted my house all the way customized.
That's
So
what
I
was so
was,
sad because for Samson's restaurant, like I really wanted a cute, small little restaurant that was only one story.
yep.
But in order to make it like have the aesthetic I wanted, it has to be huge. And I'm like, that's like not
Like,
what I
it's like I
wanted at
wish there
all.
would kind of be like a setting of like, oh, well, since the first main house unlocked it, then not everyone has to do it. And then
Yeah.
all those features are there. I thought that was really frustrating because like I wanted to have just like just the like one room, or like
Mm-hmm.
maybe like two rooms, and
Like
that
the
was
front and the
it.
back room, and then call it
Yep,
a
that was
day.
all I wanted. Or like maybe work my way to maybe an upstairs, but never a basement.
Yeah, I really wish we could decorate our houses to look like the villagers' houses too, because the villager house designs are so cute.
Mm-hmm.
And like those little like beachy looking ones on the beach,
Yes,
you
they're
can make
so
like a little
cute.
surf shack, crab shack
I
store.
also wish that your starter villager houses would also upgrade again. Because like they
Mm,
go from like a tent to a house, but then their furniture is always the starter furniture. It's never
yeah.
like their actual real interior. And I wish at some point those would upgrade to a real interior. Because it's like right now I have Mackin, who was like my very first
First,
villager.
yeah.
And I've considered moving him out to like one of my other islands and then moving him back so he can have his real house. And that seems
Mm.
like such a silly thing that I have to do
Yeah, that's
to
how
get him to
Flo
have his real
is.
furniture.
Flo right now is my OG. She was like very first, and I love her.
Yeah.
And like I want to keep her around, but at the same time it's like, dude, her house, I keep trying to give her furniture and she either doesn't use it. She has two beds, one that I gave her and one that's like a block bed. And I'm like, just get
Yeah.
rid of the ugly block one. I gave you this beautiful bed. Like customized it and everything. She's like,
I
nah.
know. It's like that one weird thing of like, do you just let them move out and then scan somebody else in? Like scan the
Yeah.
same villager back in? I don't
Yeah.
think I could get rid of Mac. I've never like really gave him any furniture. He's just in that same starter house still. So
Mm.
I would think I'm just gonna move him out, move him back, and then he'll have his real house.
Yeah. And then it's the same Mac too, which is
Yeah,
nice.
because they remember you.
Yeah.
So like if you go like, which is fun. Like I've had like villagers go to other islands and I go visit them. They're like, "Oh hi, how are you,
Hey, it's
Drama?
good to see you
I miss
again.
you and like I'm enjoying my time here."
So
So it's really
cute.
still your villager. It's not like they get erased if you see them on like a mystery island. They totally don't know who you are anymore. But
Mm.
if they are still your villager, they'll remember everything about you.
Yeah, it's like kind of
Yeah.
heartwarming in a way.
It is super cute though, like to go there and then they remember you.
Yeah. Cute houses, cute animals.
I know. I feel like we're just venting today, but it's
I
kind
you
of
know what
fun.
it's I think that's kind of the point of this too is like we just want to we just want to talk about stuff.
Yeah, we just got to get things off our chest. Because I feel like out of like a lot of the Animal Crossing people, like whether on Twitter or wherever, I feel like you and I are probably like the least critical.
Mm.
I feel like that we really don't have a lot of bad things to say, but there are like frustrations I have. Like,
Oh
I
yeah.
think like my biggest one is probably like we talked about a little bit ago was like the inclines and house customization. Like, there just needs to be more options. Like, why is there a white wood plank incline, but there's no bridge to go with it?
Oh
And that was the
yeah.
one I wanted to use, but there's no bridge that like looks nice with it. So I ended up using like the natural incline. And I have to use like the suspension bridge. But it's
Mm.
like, I don't know. I just wish there was more like cohesiveness to the inclines and bridges.
Or like different colors for the stones and stuff that we put down. Like the
Yeah.
wood that you put down or the bricks. The bricks don't match the bricks that are in town center.
Yeah,
And it
it's so
bothers me because
weird.
it's like that's the one other type of brick if you wanted bricks for your ground. It would be nice if
Hmm.
there was like an option where you could like push down, I don't know, push down the stick while you're in the island designer when you're
Yes.
choosing like let's say you were choosing what rocks you wanted and then you like push like X or push down a button and it would give you more design options. That would be so cool. Like the stove behind me. Imagine if the bricks you could have that color brick with the light stove instead of trying to
It'd be
put like white
so
on there.
pretty to have just like more options, or like even like there's like the wood option, it only comes in like a dark wood path.
Yeah, like a light wood or white wood would be so
I'm
nice.
I'm a pastel babe. I gotta have all that light wood and whites, and I can't use the wood because of it. And I don't
Yeah.
want to put a custom design that has a pixel missing just to make it lighter.
Yeah, I
Like,
almost did that. And the thing is, I almost did that for my boardwalk where I made it like a whitewashed board that looked worn down. But the problem was then it gets rid of the sound you walk on. And part of the joy of my boardwalk by the beach is that you
was
run
the
along
sound
it
of
and
the
it sounds
boardwalk.
so
Yeah.
good. It just doesn't look like it aesthetically matches and it kind of bothers me.
I really wish they would just add more pathways and then let us exchange them out, kind of like emotes. Like, just let me
Yeah.
pick which ones I want in my wheel. And if it's like you can only have 8 active at a time, I'll make that work. But let me
Yeah.
pick like the 8 or whatever it is that I want to personally use right now.
And it would be really cool if you swapped them out. And you know how your designs change when you
Yep,
swap it out? You could
exactly.
swap out your paths so easily, and then
And then
each
you would have to
season you
repath
could
your
just
whole
like
town.
yeah, that would be so good.
That'd be so good. I would love that because I do that now all the time, like when I'm editing a path or I'm editing a design. Because
Mhm.
I'm really weird and I refuse to use like custom designs from other people. I have to make them all myself. And so swapping out is such a big deal for me, but I just wish that would be for pathways too. Because, like, what if your whole town was stone and you're like, you know what? I want to switch it to dirt. Like, that would be such a pain to switch all that up if you didn't have it with custom designs.
So I actually did. I had terracotta originally, and I switched to
Hmm.
all to stone, and it took me an entire stream to just change all of the pathways.
I was going to say, I thought we were both terracotta. I'm still terracotta circles. I refuse to change.
I have my terracotta circles around as like accent pieces, but
Hmm.
to make it more nautical, I figured the stone would kind of fit closer because
That makes sense. Yeah.
everything is so blue and gray and white that I just felt like it matched a bit better.
And I really wish the stone path matched any of the other stone stuff. Like, it doesn't really match the stone bridge. It doesn't really match the stone incline.
Yeah.
Like, or it doesn't even match the stone that's on the natural incline.
It doesn't
Like, it
match
just
the
feels,
stone fences
it
either.
feels like that the paths and inclines and bridges just don't really like go together. The only thing that I can wholeheartedly say goes together is the brick bridge and the terracotta path,
Oh my
which is
god, it's
so
so beautiful,
random.
but totally
And they look at,
random.
yeah, they and with the brick like incline. Like that is the only set in my opinion that actually like
Looks
chef
good.
kiss matches.
Yeah, and honestly, when Tin and I make
Hmm.
our second town together, I'm probably just gonna be like, okay, we're gonna have bricks for our paths and terracotta, or brick bridges and terracotta because I want it to match. But for this town, I was originally gonna go every Animal Crossing that had design like the designer thing. I would always put bricks down because
Hmm.
I'm from Massachusetts and old school like Boston has like brick roads in some certain areas and we have a lot of brick
Yes.
buildings, so like I really love that aesthetic. But this time around I wanted to do something really drastically different. And I was thinking that there were going to be like white fences because they had it in the direct, and I was like, okay, I'll have white and blue fences everywhere and like all this nautical stuff. It'll be great. And then I feel like I'm missing out on like the stones don't quite feel as nautical as they could, and versus if it was terracotta that was white.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just want more design options. I shouldn't be complaining that much, but like especially cuz I look back at my old New Leaf Village and I'm like, wow, there's really nothing outside. Like it's just
I,
flowers and pathways and that's it.
I feel like I wouldn't be complaining if they were cohesive.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if everything had a match, like you have a white incline wood plank with a white incline bridge, I would just be like, okay, that's just how it is. And like, if you only had just those options, I would feel better about it. But the fact that none of the options match each other,
Mm,
I think that's where I'm like, okay, you need to fix this, Nintendo. Like,
please.
I I don't know. I would want my things to match. I want things to like go together and look nice. And so I had to go for like a natural feel with like the suspension bridge and the natural incline. But I
Mm.
would have loved to use like the white wood because it's so pretty.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Because I would be doing that too, honestly. Like, I would switch out all of my bridges for white wooden
Mhm.
bridges.
Yeah, and I ended up using the terracotta path because it's like the closest thing to like a light color, which I would
Hmm.
have rather used a white wood. So it's like I'm using three things that I didn't want to use because it's the only things that work for me. And it's like instead of making it work, I just wish that we had more options.
Plus, like the in New Leaf, we had so many other cute bridges. Like we had the
With the
fantasy
fairy tale
bridge,
bridge?
yeah,
Yeah. The fairy tale bridge I think always stands out because there was like the fairy tale bridge with like the
the little
lampposts
yeah.
and everything. You could even change like your buildings to match that. Like you could change your I guess resident services. Like you could change that building to also be fairy tale as well. Like you could change all the buildings or like the train station also.
The modern bridge too is the
Yeah.
other thing.
There-
Oh yeah, changing the train station in City Hall.
You could change the shape of those to whatever style you want after. Like you had to like get to a certain point in the game to be able to do that. But we don't even have that kind of option. Like if I could change things about the town hall, I would. Like one of them would be like, can I make the lamppost white? That's such a silly thing, but it's like I
Yeah,
would love
yeah.
that.
I have white lampposts, but they don't match with the other ones, and I'm like, oh, I hate that they're like a green, blackish color. Like they're so dark.
I know. So it makes you want to have to use those in your town because it's the only things that correspond and like work well.
Yeah.
I just wish there was more thoughtfulness into like things that correspond and go together. I feel like that they're like, oh, these are really cool. We should make these styles. It's almost like there's like three different teams doing all these different things and like, okay, let's throw it all in the game now.
Yeah.
And didn't like compare notes. That's what it feels like. We can talk about bridges all day.
Oh yeah, bridges, inclines, you name it, anything. Yeah, they had the Zen, the fairy tale, and the modern as choices besides the
Yes.
default.
So like we technically have more choices, but for some reason you feel more limited and I don't know why.
Yeah, and for City Hall, you could make them match your bridges, and the same with the train station.
Yep, exactly. So like the fact that there was cohesiveness with that where like all your buildings, all your bridges, all your lampposts, everything could be the same style. Even if there was less styles, they would all look the same and correspond together. We just
Yeah,
don't have that cohesiveness in this game.
because for the items that go with those three themes, the Zen, fairy tale, and modern, they had bells for them. They had like for the Zen and for the fairy tale. They
Yes.
had benches that matched it. They had bridges. They had clocks, like
Yep.
town clocks.
Clock. Yep, yep, yep.
The lamp posts.
Yeah, the lamp was the only thing that like really stuck in my mind.
Yeah.
Because I loved the fairy tale stuff, and that's the stuff that I used in my town. And I just liked that I could do everything fairy tale, and then it all kind of like flowed together. Then I tried to pick the style of my house because I did like the mermaid like outside house.
So if you could have, I don't know, let's say three things that were a town project in New Leaf into Animal Crossing, what would it be?
Whatever that big jungle gym circle is, because I don't know. I just want to feel nostalgic and have that again.
Oh,
Because that
that was
I feel like that was such a
cute.
weird selling point in like New Leaf, and everybody wanted that. I definitely want to see an actual windmill because we have like the wind
Oh, the
turbines, and
windmill is
people.
the turbine is like boring, but the beautiful like it had like this like green roof to it, and it was just so natural feeling. Imagine how beautiful it would be in different colors too.
Yeah, kind of like I have all like the lighthouses in different colors. I think
Yeah.
that's what I would like to see is them to expand the Nook Miles with more things. Like at this point, like what am I using my Nook Miles for?
Yeah,
Like
besides
I think
like villager
someone who's been playing
hunting.
since March, everyone has like hundreds of thousands of them, if not more. What are we supposed to do with all these Nook Miles? Because we
Mm,
keep earning them every day by doing dailies, which is fun, but I have nothing to spend them on. And I
right.
think that it'd be really cool to see them expand all those things that you could buy. And I would love to see the windmills in there, even if it's like I only get one color and I have to trade with someone else. That stuff's fun to do.
Yeah.
I suppose there's more options.
I miss the trellis, that wisteria trellis, and I miss the little
Yes.
like
Wasn't it like the arch thing? Is that what you're talking about?
that was it was like the big
It was like a
square.
canopy almost.
Yeah, it's a canopy with like flowers growing down it. It
Yes,
almost
that
looks
was
like grapes, but
so
they're
pretty.
wisteria.
And then I also really liked the light up things. It was like the light up like clock or the light up like hearts and
My
stuff.
only gripe with the light up arches and stuff was they didn't look good during the daytime. They only looked good at night.
I mean, that makes sense.
The other thing is they had really cute, I'm not going to pronounce this right, but the topiaries, the little flower hedges looking thing, like they had like
Yeah,
little
yeah, yeah,
circles
yeah.
and stuff.
There's so many like random items. Like even this sounds so silly now, but like I was playing New Leaf on stream last year, and I got like two requests in a row because I was like, no matter what they ask for, I'm gonna build it. And in a row, they ordered two signs, and we don't even have signs in this game. Like
Oh
some people are making
yeah.
these really cool cities, but we have no like stop signs or warning signs or anything. And it's like I kind of want the signs back now. They
Yeah.
were they were a gripe back then, but hey, I want them again.
Like the do not enter and the yield. And the thing is there's so many good villages that look or islands that look like those really industrial kind of modern cities that have like roadways and stuff. They could really benefit from those types of signs.
Yeah, absolutely. I know a lot of people are asking for rugs to go outside, but I think it's a terrible idea.
What? Okay, so I was
Well,
actually talking about this with Burlington the other day. If they were able to like make a happy home designer style way of picking up rugs and stuff outside, even if it's like within like a 10 tile limit, it would make it so much
uh-huh.
easier. But the thing is, okay, wait, you know what? Let's hear why you think it's a terrible idea because I want to hear it first.
Islands already are like furniture overloaded and are lagging if they have too many things. If we also allowed more things that could go under all the things we already have, the game would break.
That's fair.
That's the only reason is because like when I was building that huge like Spirited Away island, the whole island just with the simple panels, apparently 400 simple panels makes the whole system lag.
Oh, wow.
At that point, it's like if I had the ability to do rugs as well, I feel like it would just get out of hand.
Yeah, that's a good point that I didn't actually think of. I was just like, you know what? They have floor lamps.
I mean, unless the custom designs are similar resource management than like the rugs, but I would think you could put rugs on top of custom design. So I feel like it could get worse. You could do a custom design and then put a rug on top of it, and then put furniture on top of that, and put an item on top of that furniture. I feel like it would just.
Yeah.
I think it's just like the what is like the straw that broke the camel's back. Basically, I feel like that's what rugs would be. As much as they'd be cool, I just don't think the game can handle it at this point, unless they find a way to optimize it. I just don't see that happening.
I just think the rugs look really like this. The mat that's under my kitchen sink, right? That would be
Yeah.
such a cute little beach towel that you don't necessarily need a pillow on. It'd be like, oh, okay, we can just put it down and it looks like a towel.
Something from New Leaf that I think would be really cool in this game, like the face cutout signs.
Oh yeah, I miss those. Those
Because
are
there,
so
like, there's a
cute.
design. There's a design thing you could do for it that would cover the full length of it. Can I have that same concept, but for simple panels?
Oh my
Like, I
gosh,
would really like to
yeah.
see custom designs that we can do, like the pro designs, but for non-clothing items.
Mm.
Like, to be able to have a make a two tile panel, like to think of what people could do with that. Oh my God, it'd be so interesting to see all the cool designs you could do with those simple panels and having control of the full panel like that.
Yeah, because then people could make more like things on the shelves that they designed or like your train that you made.
It just like it's so cool. Like I remember when we were trying to do kind of like that those gold screen walls, you could really build like a full portrait off of a full thing like that.
Yeah.
And it'd be so cool to see what people could come up with like artistically. I would really like to see more options artistically for people to have more things they can do. Even if they just like ignored the furniture and just had like more clothing things you can make and just continually adding upon it. I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
I think giving artists who make all these cool designs us more options would be better. If you're not going to give us more pathways in game, at least give us more custom design slots and more options of things we can make.
And I kind of miss the cutout standees because, like, whenever you visited someone's island and they had them, you always took screenshots at them.
Yes.
You instinctively had to run over and take a picture, like, make a happy face and take a picture because it was just like, it was really cute.
Yeah, it was just like you're feeling like you're part of the movie and or part of the adventure or whatever it was. Even if it's like the stupid holidays that I didn't care about, I still did it
Yeah.
because I just needed them. So my whole 3DS was just screenshots with those things.
I
We
feel,
just want
well,
things.
yeah, just want all the things.
Just give us more bridges and inclines, house customization, things to buy from the Nook store. Give us the ability to make our own star trees to tie it back to the beginning already.
Yeah.
I mean, I can, you know what? Have the gold shovel have a purpose. Let me go into a gold spot in the ground with my gold shovel and bury a star fragment and give me like a percent chance I can make a star fragment tree. Not every time guaranteed, but a percent chance.
That would actually be a really cool way to implement the star trees and actually having a purpose for the golden stuff.
I think it'd be really cool. And I think it just, and then it would be in the game, then people can have it. There's nothing to like report because it's just part of the game. There's nothing to hack. Because I think that was part of the problem. I think another reason why they removed the star trees was because people were selling them for real life money online. And maybe they were trying to like stop that market. Because I saw people saying, like, oh man, I spent $10 on that tree. Like, geez. So
Yeah,
much money
like,
to spend on one
dang.
item. I think the only thing I saw for sale that I was like, I'm down for this, purchased a thing to go to somebody's island who had every single item that you could catalog and purchase through the catalog in game. And they got to catalog every item the Nintendo like in that's in Animal Crossing.
Wow. Was their island just like entirely filled with items? Like, how did that even work?
Apparently they had this person had their entire island was just full of items, and then she went and just cataloged every single item and now has access to a full catalog. So if she wants something and like or somebody else wants something, she can just order and give it to them. I can just buy what I want whenever I want, and it can be more of a creative mode for me. And I think that was the only thing that I was like, okay, I could see me doing that. Like just having access to everything. It's not even a matter of like you're giving it to me, just the idea that I can just buy it for myself if I want it or if like somebody else needed it. I got you.
I kind of wish they did something similar to Dragon Quest Builders too. How when
Yes.
you get to a certain point, you basically have like unlimited amount of things or like access to extra. So you know how like when you would finish those like kind of scavenger hunts, you got like unlimited wood or unlimited whatever.
That was so nice.
It would be really cool if there was a way to like get to a point in the game where you could do that and you wouldn't have to worry about trying to chop the trees, or even if it just had something to do with maybe you could unlock the different color variants of furniture in your Nook shopping app or something.
I would love that. That was such like a really fun thing that Dragon Quest Builders did have, is that they had reasons to keep going to these islands. You have to go to these islands to explore, to get all the resources or to unlock all the items or whatever.
And it wasn't even all of the resources either. Like you still had a few that you had to go back and get, but like the ones that you use for everything.
Yeah, like all the stone and materials and woods and rocks and all of that. I really wish it would come back, but like smaller.
Yeah.
Because I think that was the problem for me, is that the game was like, especially on your main island, it was just too big. And like the Switch couldn't handle it. And I heard PC was even worse.
Oh yeah, which is such a disappointment because I was actually considering getting it for PC. And I started building, I have this 3-story mansion I started making. And it's beautiful, but it lags so much now because there's just so many items and all of the rooms are different rooms, and like there's 3 stories to it. It's based off of like a real mansion that I found blueprints for, so it's like,
oh, that's really cool.
yeah, and it looked really gorgeous. It was just like way too big.
Yeah, I think like when it got down to like the last time I really played the game, I remember I just like got one of those little like extra islands you could go to, and I found out that I could move all of my villagers there, or all the people there. And so I just like I just picked the smallest island and like started moving everybody there, and I just started like building on that. And I was like, I might as well live here because it's a size that I can handle. And I really wish that like if Dragon Quest Builders ever comes back, I just hope they downscale it
or give you more options from the beginning to go onto the smaller island.
And I would love to see a lot of things that were in Dragon Quest Builders to come to Animal Crossing. Like, can we just get like a mix of like Maple Story, Animal Crossing, and like Dragon Quest Builders into a game?
Oh my gosh, that's the dream.
Whatever that is, that's what I want.
True
100%.
Dream right there. Because Maple Story 2 had the house building, but it was in a small limited space.
Yep, it was a space that you could handle building in.
And you could use the furniture.
And then Animal Crossing has like the relationships.
Yeah.
With the people that like live with you a lot more than like what Dragon Quest Builders had. And the Dragon Quest Builders they were actually interacting with the things that you made, and you had to design rooms they would utilize.
The room thing was so cool.
And it was cool to try to figure them out too. Like there were guides to like, here's all the different rooms, but like trying to figure out how to make the rooms like and get the new ones unlocked.
Yeah. So for those who are listening and don't know, Dragon Quest Builders had this mechanic where in order to make a room, a specific room like a kitchen, you would need certain things like an oven of some sort or a sink
or like a campfire, and then you'd also need like a basket or a chest or like whatever.
And then because of that, it would put a little animation where it went ring, and it would turn it into a quote unquote kitchen, and then all the NPCs would use it as a kitchen, and they would start cooking.
What was interesting is if you added different items to it, there was a chance it could be a different kind of kitchen, like a farmer's kitchen or something.
Yeah, and it was just so cool.
It was really interesting, and like they would, because of the type of environment was, they would interact with it that way. So if you had a kitchen and it was a classified kitchen, the villagers would come in, or the people would come in and actually like cook food for the people that lived there.
Yeah, you would put food in the chest and they would take it out and start cooking it for you.
And that was because it was like designed as a kitchen.
Right. Which is like such a cool mechanic. Like
it was so neat. And it was so interesting to like purposely have them interact, because like now in Animal Crossing you like build this cool little cafe, they'll sit down on the ground next to it.
Yeah.
And
you're like, but just sit on the chair. Yeah.
Just use the things.
Like I have all these chairs and they don't sit on them, they just sit on the floor.
And it was like the same thing too, like for Dragon Quest Builders, if you put like a table and chair together with like a bowl on it, all of a sudden it became a dining table, and they would use it as a dining table to eat at. Like
yeah,
there was a lot of mechanics with like placing them together, kind of like a puzzle to like get the things that you wanted. But I just want that. I want those 3 games to come together and make a game like that, and I think that'd be great.
Yeah. And the other thing that I missed that Maple Story 2 had was more emotes, because you could dance or you could do like all sorts of things, but they had furniture that was quote unquote interactable. So like we have furniture that's interactable, right? Where like
we're sitting down.
Yeah. And like I could get up and I could go over here and I can turn on this coffee machine or like do this, put this toast, right? But
Yeah.
that's really about it. There's nothing that like my character necessarily does. In MapleStory 2, you could go on the treadmills, you could sit on certain things and drink coffee. Mostly the gym equipment is like the one that I miss the most. Like when I was doing
Yeah.
my Olympic video, I really wanted to be able to run on the treadmill. We have a treadmill. Let me like just give me a little animation of like jogging on it. It would be
Or
so
like even
cute.
like the weight bench, like in Maple Story, you would be lifting weights. In this game, you
Yeah.
just sleep, and it
Yeah.
feels so like disconnected.
Right. And it's such a missed opportunity too as a content creator because it's like you could do all these kind of role play or like funny videos that would be really enjoyable and interactive and like kind of fun to watch, but at the same time like you kind of have to use your imagination when watching Animal Crossing videos cuz there's so much limitation in that regard.
I think overall for like New Horizons, I think the game is 100% better than previous games. I just feel like that there's plenty of room for them to still improve and add new things. It's not that I don't have faith that they will. I think that they will add stuff. I'm really curious to see what they will add, what more they can bring to what's already there. You know, not just here's new items, but like how to improve what's already in the game too. The mechanic is there. Like when you talk to Daisy May, you can order more than 5 turnips from her. Like you can punch in how you want. So just use that same menu system that you've already built and put that into Me and Tommy shop. Put that in with Sahara if you want. Like give us, or with Leaf, give us the options to like purchase more things.
Ugh, Sahara is so hard for me because I'm like, that's 7 different menus I have to do to get all the rugs I want. Like,
Or like just add a button in Able Sisters where it says add to cart, you know? So
yeah.
if I want this one dress that comes in 9 colors, I don't have to go in and out 9 times to get it.
Yeah, that's a big frustration on my end where it's like I just want everything.
And then you forget what you order. So then I started to get into a habit. I would go in, I would have to come out with it on so I know which one I ordered last, and then go get the next one.
And then you have to go all the way back home to get changed again. I do the same thing.
I know, it's like the only way you could do it. And it's like, why? Like, just give me a shop to cart. I want to order everything. I want more storage. I want more things. Like, I'm considering like getting another character on my island just so I can have more storage at this point. I hoard everything, especially when it comes to clothing. Like, I just want every item.
My storage is full and it's primarily because of clothing. So it's funny because my closet in real life is actually very small and modest. Like I don't have a lot of
I know.
outfits that I wear besides like my repeating dresses.
That makes sense.
But in Animal Crossing, I'm like, I just want everything. Like I do
know.
I do my guilty pleasure shopping in Animal Crossing.
I know, and it's like the only time like I feel like I really express myself differently. Like in real life, it's kind of cold in my office, so I wear the same black hoodie like on every stream for like weeks, and that's all you ever see is just me in this like black like pullover.
Yeah.
But in Animal Crossing, I just like I get to have a little bit more fun in my own quirky way. Like my cucumbers, I gotta have those. They're
So
always
cute.
here.
Well, I think this was a good vent session.
I know. I feel so like relieved.
I know,
that,
it's
like,
funny how like I honestly was just like, you know, it's been a while and I just have so many things that I just like think about that I really want in Animal Crossing and like I talked to friends about it, but there's something really satisfying about just like one-on-one conversations with people just to like have a vent sesh and it's so good.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
It's like I can sit here and like give you all of the ideas that I'm thinking and all the wishes I could have. And I think I just really want everyone to have a really positive experience. One where, you know, we don't report everybody, and one where we can just, I don't know, love each other and have a good time. That's all I want.
And the thing is, like, you know, Tin calls Animal Crossing this all the time. It's a virtual dollhouse.
Yes.
There's no wrong way to play with a dollhouse. Like, you can put the bed in the kitchen if you're a kid with a dollhouse, and nobody's gonna, unless your parents are, like, watching you play, no one's gonna tell you not to do that. It's, like, kind of like a free reign of whatever you want to do. So that's kind of my outlook on it. I understand the other point of view of, like, people not wanting cheats or hacks or whatever, but, like, at the same time, if it's not really hurting your like anything, then just live and let live, you know. We gotta be more Bob Ross about stuff sometimes where we just that's like my kind of mantra I've been trying to live by. I'm like, you know what, if Bob Ross can be chill, I think I can try to learn to be chill.
I agree with this 100%.
So thank y'all for listening to our little crossing confessions here. If you want to find Dramakins, she is available on twitch.tv/Dramakins. also on YouTube, youtube.com/Dramakins, and she is amazing. So if you want to see really incredible Animal Crossing builds, go check out her YouTube channel. If you want to see them in the happening and all the creative like mind that goes behind it, check out her Twitch channel. She's also on Twitter and posts some cool stuff there too. So is there anyone or anywhere else that I missed that?
You shill the best of all the shills.
Perfect. I'm glad I could show for you. But thank y'all for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, stay happy. Start venting in the comments. I don't know. See you later.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Subscribe to Corey's channel, though.
Oh my gosh.